It's cool.
And
I'll do all that. Just hey guys, it's William and Amit. He's with RankZenith. We're going to be going over backlinking. He's going to show you guys basically if you've never done backlinking, brand new website, how to basically get your first, how many, I don't know, a couple of hundred backlinks without actually spending a ton of money on it. Because a lot of people out there will sell you backlinks or try to sell you backlinks and come in your DM and hey, I got guest posts. I'm going to sell them to you for 20, 30, 40, 50 bucks, a couple of $100, whatever. And it's just a minefield out there if you don't know what you're doing. So Amit's going to help guide y'all with this, and he's got a little PowerPoint we're going to go over. Make sure to drop your questions. Give StreamYard permission on Facebook so we can see your questions coming through. If your questions come through, then we will be going over them live here today. And I'll give it over to Amit.
hi guys, welcome to Bill's channel. We're gonna talk about building 150 backlinks without spending much of money. But look, again, let me put a caveat here. They are free backlinks, most of them. So the value they'll have is whatever the free value comes in, but it starts you somewhere rather than having a proper backlink strategy where you go in and find out your competitors' backlinks, you form a perfect strategy, and then you focus on guest posts and niche edits where you spend tons of money to rank your website to the top of the page. That's not what this is about. This is about starting your journey on a new website, how you can get your first 150 backlinks in about 4 to 6 weeks of starting your website. Once you are established with that, then you can go in with the whole link building strategy and whatever plans you have for your website and for your growth plan. So I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to quickly show you what I have here. And how do I share my...
Just down at the bottom where it says share and a plus sign.
Yep.
And then we'll be good.
All right. Can you see a lot of screens here?
Yep. Now I see your PowerPoint.
All right. Awesome. Can you still see me?
I can do that, or give me 1 second. There you go. Go ahead.
Yeah, all good?
Yep.
All right, fantastic. So the title says how to build your first 150 to 200 backlinks for free. That free is the key here. But a little teaser here says backlinks matter. So for SEO, for a perfect SEO plan, you need to have 3 things under control. And a lot of people will differ with that. But content, which includes a lot of your on-page stuff as well. The second one is backlinks, and the third one is your core web vitals. So to me, all 3 are as important as each other to get your SEO journey. The 13 backlink building techniques that we were talking about are directory listings, link partners, social media, citations, link reclamation, forums, blog comments, press releases, the Skyscraper technique, guest postings on other blogs, reviews for online service providers or tools, broken link building, and niche edits. What's directory listing? So a directory listing, I think a lot of you would know, yellow pages, white pages, all those free directories that let you go in and put your business up there. They provide you most of the time a no follow or a do follow link, depending on the website you're going with. But that sort of gets you some attention in your local SEO where there are people looking for places near you. And this directory listing always comes in handy. A lot of people disagree on this, that this is old school technique and doesn't work anymore. But it is no harm just putting your name up there in the local directories as much as you can, because it takes about 3 to 4 minutes to put one directory listing once you have all your data correct and you have picked up on the websites or web directories that you want to put your website into. Harmless, absolutely harmless, not spam. No one says it's spam. If John Mueller says it, he coughs up when people write articles, so I wouldn't worry about too much. Just go with directory listings, get your business out there. It doesn't harm at all. Yes, it may not benefit you as much, but again, when you're starting a new journey, you might as well tick all the boxes that you can. The second one is link partners. So this is fairly simple. You go in Google, type in your suburb or your location with a URL / link partners, and Google will show you the websites that are ready to partnership for link building. Again, not the best of the link building techniques to get your website on page one overnight, but this helped in starting to build that link journey. So you can get some good link partnership. Some of them you will find is relevant to your niche. Some of them you will find is relevant to the topic that you're talking about, and it helps. So that can give you some quick and easy links. Social media. If I ask you how many social media platforms you'll know, we'll all know Facebook, Twitter, Google, LinkedIn, Instagram. But there are 300 to 400 other small social media profiles that you can create. They'll give you backlinks. So you start with it. You just type in social media platforms or social media websites on Google. It'll give you a lot of websites. It doesn't harm to create your social media profile on each of them for your business. The more you get your name out, the better it is for your business in the beginning. Next one. So again, social media, a lot of us create Facebook pages, we create Twitter account, Instagram account, but that's where we restrict ourselves. LinkedIn, obviously. But that's where we are restricted. That's where you'll see a lot of ads running as well. But they will definitely be something that you'll have to create for all good reasons, not just for links, but getting your social presence out there. But for other social media profiles, you can just choose the lower social medias and just create them. Doesn't harm, again. Citations. So directory listings and citations can be pretty confusing sometimes. They're both very similar in the way it goes. But a perfect example for citations is Google My Business. It's a citation where you're putting your name out there with your name, address, and phone number, telling a little bit more about your company. But this is something that entity holds when you're creating a citation with them. So any information that you need to change, you'll have to request them to change it. In a directory listing, you can go in and you can update whatever information you want whenever you want. No one's going to question you. But with citations, Bill can correct me. If you change something on Google and Google doesn't like it, they'll suspend you because it's controlled by them. That's right, Bill, isn't it?
Correct. And then one thing is, like, if you're going to go in to actually do edits on your GMB before doing it on your GMB, you should have if you will, an Excel spreadsheet of all your citations and directories and all your data points. That way, if you're going to do it, you do it there first. That way, when you're going to do it with Google, they say, oh, yep, he is right. Because if you don't do it that way, what'll happen is Google say, nope, not going to accept it because all the other data points show your old, let's say your old email or your old website. They won't accept it most of the time. So
absolutely spot on.
Yep.
So that's the main difference between directory listing and a citations. That's where a lot of people get confused, but a lot of people use them vice versa as well.
Yep.
Link reclamation, sounds really extensive and a lot of work. But what all we are saying here is, guys, go in, look for your company's name on Google. Just type in your business name. You'll find a list of all the websites that have mentioned your name. For a new website, you may not find a lot of websites mentioning your name, but for a little older, 6 or 10 months old website, you'll see a lot of websites that have mentioned your brand in their website. So you go in and you check whether they have actually given you a link or not, or whether they have just mentioned your name. So if they've just mentioned your name and haven't given you a link, it's easier to just go and contact them. Hey, you've already mentioned it. Can you just put a website link to my webpage so people can get redirected when they're trying to look for me? Yep. And it works because I've seen it. I've got experience, and this works because when someone's mentioning your name, they already have you in their database. They already have a reference to you, and putting a link there is not going to be very hard. So that works really well. But again, it works for not the very new websites, but some things that's about 6 to 12 months old, something that's been there and people are talking about it. Forums. So we're talking about medium.com and some other forums where you can go in and simply submit a blog that you want, which is niche relevant website. And a lot of communities and forums out there. If you type in for free forums, you'll get a lot of them. Again, pick the ones that are high quality, high value, and niche relevant, because this is where you can just go into the depth of this ocean without getting any value at all if you just choose any random forum. So choose the right article, choose the right forum where they're talking about the stuff you're selling or the service you're providing, and just reference to that and just go in there and create a link. They're free forums. Yes, Google doesn't have a lot of value for them, but again, because you're starting, you might as well just tick this box and move forward from here. Blog comments. I get a lot of backlash when I talk about blog comments. A lot of people just go, "This is bullshit. This doesn't work." Simple. Bill puts a post up on Facebook. Half of the people will comment to troll. Half of the people will comment to get some value, and some people will comment to add value and create an authority. And Bill, correct me if I'm wrong. If someone adds value to the group, how do you see that person? How do you see the group people see that person? And does that really create that authority that he's trying to build with that just one comment?
No, I mean, he's got to come in and actually give value and actually give information, not just a comment.
So in the comment,
you'll get a lot of that most of the time. So
no, but in a comment, if he's adding value, so that's my point.
That's totally different. Now, if he's adding value, that's awesome.
That's right.
It creates engagement, creates traffic, stuff like that. So
absolutely. So this is how blog comments work for me. So there is a topic. Let's say someone's talking about backlink building, and they put a post or a blog out there that talks about link building strategies. And there are 20 people that have just trolled that this is old, this doesn't work, this is shit. And there's one person that comes in and says, "Thanks for putting this up. I think I can add these 3 to it because these 3 work really well as well, along with the others."
I know for a fact it definitely works. The blog commenting and everything, especially even with CTR manipulation, you can use blog commenting and stuff. I know Craig Campbell talks about it. Craig Campbell was made fun of even. He talked about it in one of his show where he actually did, I think it was on Legit. I believe it was on Legit, where he actually posted a gig about blog commenting, and people started lashing out at him, making fun of him. And he's like, "Listen, what used to be black hat, if you will, and work and stop working doesn't mean it's always not going to work. And now it works again." And people will sit there and say stuff. He's like, "Listen, I know it works, so y'all could say whatever the hell you want."
Don't do it if you think it doesn't work.
It's crazy.
No one's forcing you. But to me, if you're in the right blog and you've got the right comment that attracts the right attention, it will 100% work. It may not work for SEO, but guess what? It'll work for traffic. It'll work for building your brand authority. It'll work for many other things. But all you have to do is you have to make sure you add value in that comment, not just, someone's talking about tables and you're selling SEO services and you just put a website link there. That's shit. You don't want to do that. You want to find the right blogs, you want to comment the right thing, and you make sure you think through that comment. How will a customer or a viewer read that comment? And if that solves the purpose they're trying to achieve. So to me, blog comments, use your brain, use your best of the techniques, and sell your product in the best way you will sell it to a customer.
Yep.
That's how blog comments work for me.
That's why I also say it's even the same thing with Facebook commenting, because you'll get people that will just say, "Hey, I need work," or "Hey, here's I do backlinks." They see someone did a post and then get, "Hey, I do backlinks," or "Hey, I do blogs," and they didn't come in. They didn't go, "Hey, for instance, here's how to write a blog. Here's my steps in writing a blog. Here's my steps in how to get backlinks. Here's my," and try to actually help people. And if you actually try to help people, then naturally you'll quote unquote get work. Same thing applies with backlinking. If you're out there putting out good content, you're naturally going to get more and more backlinks. Even without even trying to backlink, you'll get backlinks. So
absolutely. And that content can be anywhere. It can be in blog comments as well.
Yep.
That's where it's coming. Awesome. Press releases. Look, I think for the newbies, they may not know, but there's 300 to 400 news presses where you can just go in one hit and get 300-400 links, but you have to pay for them. Companies like Newswire, PRs, and the other companies. I don't want to be biased and name them, but you can just approach them and they can put an article. I'm pretty sure there'll be free press releases as well. I just haven't done them for a long time. But if you Google, you'll find it. But this is one of the way to get your brand out there in the business. A lot of people, what they do is they come up with something new, and that's when they flash a press release to say, "Hey guys, we've come up with this brilliant idea of reformatting X, Y, and Z." And that gets you a bulk links, and they're not spam. They're all news related articles or websites that you're getting it from. The skyscraper technique. It sounds really, really difficult, isn't it? Exponential. But it's a simple three steps technique. You find the content that is worthy of a link. You make it shinier than that, and then you outreach to the right people. Outreaching sounds simpler, but it's much more difficult. You're talking about sending emails to 100, 200 people and then getting responses of 10 or 5%, or sometimes even none. But that's a good starting point. So you find an article on a blog post or on a website, and you write a better article than that. You spin it, you change it, you put your 20 cents in it, and then you go back to the same people and say, hey, that article you have is shittier than mine, and this is what I've added news to it. It works a lot of times, but it takes a lot of time as well, because you have to outreach to the people. You have to have the right email. You have to have the right contact person, and it's just hard work. But it is one of the best techniques that you can use. But it's time consuming.
Yeah, another one that I've heard that is really good is let's say you have a topic or whatever, and it was written back in 2000 or back in 2020, whatever. You write it similar to it. You change it, obviously, so it's not plagiarized. Add on to it, and then you can go into BuzzSumo and find that original article that you had, the original one. Contact the people that were the influencers and say, hey, you blasted out, this last year, and we've updated it since then. And once they do that, they blast it out to their audience, and voila, you have instant traffic.
Absolutely.
Same type of thing.
That's Skyscraper as well.
Yeah.
Same technique. This one, look, it's again for a new business. When you're buying online services, or you're providing you're buying tools or services, you can reach out to them and ask them for a backlink. It's a free backlink. It's usually coming from a website, because when you're buying stuff from someone, you're buying obviously from an established company, not a new company, and that established company giving you an established link always adds some value to your business.
Correct.
Broken link building. This is again, it's a very, very intriguing one. This one. So what you have to do is you'll have to do a bit of work where you go in and finding resource in your niche that are no longer live. So you look for all the broken links for a particular article, and then you recreate, as Bill mentioned, you recreate the version, and then you go to BuzzSumo or someone and you ask them to blast it. But in this one, we'll just go and look for things that are already broken, so the link doesn't exist to that anymore, or the website's closed, de-indexed, and that's where we go and just update that content a little bit, and then say to the webmaster, look, this link's broken, can you just replace it with mine? It's similar to, you're talking about similarities to Skyscraper here, but only focusing on things that have already got a broken link rather than asking for a brand new one. I can't see, Bill. Have you been getting any questions at all that I have?
Okay, Ron just says sweet. Let's see what else we got. Hey, Amit, this is actually from, he just messaged me. So it is from Rohan Dua. He leads a group on Facebook as well. We might have him on another day, so we'll see about that. But he said, good to see you on here. And he's also with RankJacker, link building service. I'm pretty sure you probably know him too. Runs
they're all partners. They're all partners in crime.
I screwed up and made all my backlinks to my homepage. How do I fix that?
Sorry, I can't see the comment. Let me just go there.
So I screwed up all my backlinks and made them to my homepage. How do I fix that?
Well, you have to get them redirected. So you have to reach out to the same people wherever you've got the backlinks from, and you have to change the source to the backlink. So if, for example, he's got a guest post and the content of that guest post is linking to his homepage, he'll have to go back to that person and get it changed to the URL where he wants that link to come in. There is no automatic process of changing that. It has to be manual. unfortunately.
and that's what I tell people as well. If you use some of them like Ahrefs or Google Search Console, you can find your backlinks, and then you also have to sit there and you can monitor them and see if you got some backlinks that you shouldn't have, or someone's putting spammy backlinks, and then you have to take those backlinks, disavow them through the Google Search Console. So, I mean, but that's a different topic, you know. But this is another reason why I say you need to keep a list of your backlinks too. You know, if you've done something maybe that you shouldn't have, which a lot of people just go, let me buy 5,000 damn backlinks for $20, $30, and then they find out their rankings drop, and then they have to go disavow them all, but they got to have that spreadsheet. So,
Yep.
Any other questions? Just drop them in.
Yeah, so there's a tool called detail.io as well. It's a Chrome extension where you can see your most of your backlinks there as well. You got GSC where you can see your backlinks, and then you got obviously Href or SEMrush where you can see all your backlinks. So tracking your backlinks, as Bill says, is very important, and you got to make sure you've got the right one sitting there.
Yep.
All right. Okay. The last two, the most favorite ones, and this is where you have to either work really hard or spend a lot of money to get some really, really good quality links. So guest posts, again, so you have a blogger, you have a website which is really, really good. You reach out to the blogger and you go with the blog to say, hey, mate, can you help me put this blog on your website? It's controlled. They have to approve it. A lot of times they will charge as well, and but there you may find some that don't. If your topic is really, really good and they're really interested in putting it, it's not going to go with your name. It's going to go with the blogger's name, but it's on their website and it's their authority, and that's where you get a really, really good quality backlink from there. So that's pretty much what a guest post is. So you're a guest, you're posting on someone's website, and they control that post. This is a do follow link that you get. And again, as Bill mentioned, you have to make sure you track it. You make sure it doesn't drop, because if it drops and you've paid for it, you must reclaim that money back from the person that you've paid. Most of the times, companies give a 1-year warranty minimum for that do follow link to stay there. So that's why it's important for you to keep a track of the things that you're paying for. It's your investment. Niche edits or link placements. So similar to what we talked about in guest posts. So this is basically where you go in, you look at an article or a blog that's already ranking, that's already getting traffic, and you reach out to a blogger to change a particular line or a couple of lines to put your line and put your website link into it. That's why it's called niche edits or a link placement. So you're putting your link in an already ranking article. That makes sense, Bill, doesn't it? It's a simpler explanation, yeah?
Yep. The one I like to use a lot is where you find, if you will, I use Scrapebox to find broken backlinks for a specific niche in a specific area. And then after you find those broken backlinks, then outreach to the website owners to, if you will, fix those broken backlinks. So.
Yep. So that was the broken link building that we were talking about.
Yep.
So this one is mainly where the article is live on someone's website. The blog is getting traffic. People are loving it. And you go in and you say, hey, these 2 lines where it says it is a very quick way of building links and are generally not as costly as the guest post. Can you just put RankZenith in here? You know, just fit that couple of words for me so I get a backlink from that. And again, bloggers charge you money for it, but it's really, really worth it, because you're tapping into a market that's already hot. People are already liking it. You can choose by RD, the referring domains. You can choose by traffic. You can choose by DR. You can choose what you want to do based on the budget that you have. So that's how it works really, really well. That brings me to the end of my presentation. We've covered all 13 of them. Open for questions.
Yeah, if you have any questions, you know, and everything. I do. I mean, I know what's the same Rowan does it, but PBNs. Talk to me about PBNs, or everybody. I get the question all the freaking time. So, and I get tired of talking about it. So, why don't you talk about it some?
Sure, it's a very controversial topic, to be honest. But for me, they work. They work as long as you've got a clear network, as long as you've got a low OBL website that you've created the domains that are aged, and you've got the real clean history. There are a lot of PBNs. That's where people sell 1,000 links for $10, because all they have to do is, it's an automatic software that'll just stick everything up there. And you'll find a lot of them to be not even indexable websites. So it's important in PBN, you choose the right platform, you choose the right partner, someone you can trust, and they work. That's
So what you're telling me is it can't be crap. And most people they're scared of putting in the work. So, that's what they're like. Well, PBN, it's either PBNs don't work or PBNs is the end all be all, and you don't put any work. Everything's automated, and I tell people I've went over actually how to set up a PBN before, but it's a lot of work, and most people aren't willing to do it. Then you have to, if you're not willing to do it, then you got to find someone that's really good, really clean, that can actually provide a good one.
Self-promotion alert. I've got 300 Aussie PBNs, .com.au and .org.au.
Awesome.
And I've got premium PBNs as well. What I do with my PBNs, again, to support the network, to make sure they're all clean, to make sure they're all the top quality, we invest money in all of them. And we don't just randomly shit out links for people. So all my PBNs are low OBL, so low outbound links. We're talking about protecting our network. I never give out my PBN names to anyone, even to my to best of my clients. I would just say, look, nah, I can't. I don't want someone to just keep spamming them. So it's about protecting them. It's about having the right authority and the right history to a PBN. And I'm talking about
treat them like you would any other website. Really, to me, it's you don't go to a regular website and spam it to death, and you don't go to a regular website and try to do certain things that you shouldn't be doing. So,
but see, people can treat PBN websites as forums because it's free. They can go and they can put in their blogs and they can share it out. I mean, Facebook pages, for example, some Facebook pages allow people to post on their Facebook page. Mm-hmm. People can post the shit out of it. People post reviews on people's Facebook pages with shit links in it.
There you go. Do you have a list of tools to find broken links, or what single tool do you use to find links from blogs that are broken?
Excuse me. Look, I think it's about looking into it's not a single tool that I can use. Tools are only for references.
Yep.
You'll have to use a variety of techniques. So you can start with if you like a blog, you can start with the website Hrefs, SEMrush, and you can look at the links, and then you can look at if you find any broken links there. So it's just not one tool that can serve it. I mean, not that I know of. If there's any expert that knows, that'd be great.
And the main one I would use is, like I mentioned earlier, Scrapebox. But that's specifically for when I'm going to do if you will, I'm not just trying to find a broken backlink. I'm actually going into a niche. Let's say it's the roofing niche or Havoc niche, and I'm trying to find, if you will, broken backlinks on websites. And then I contact the owners and say, hey, I'll fix those broken backlinks for you. And while I'm in there fixing those broken backlinks, I drop another link. So, but that's a little bit of, some people will do it. Some people won't do it. It's a black hat technique. It's not necessarily on the up and up, if you will. So, but that's with Scrapebox. That's the one tool I use to do that with. Any other questions? Just drop them in, because otherwise we'll be done here. We can call it a short one today, but how long have you been doing SEO, Amit?
I started my journey in 2014. So I'm an accountant by profession. I'm a CPA.
Okay. Yeah, I was an assistant CFO, believe it or not.
Yeah, I think we had this conversation. Yeah. We had this conversation last time. So two accountants working here. So yeah, look, I worked with companies like BHP Billiton, some big mining giants in Australia, and along with that, I started my SEO journey. It was a bit of bumpy ride for me because I had a few issues where I had to go back to India after being in Australia for such a long time. And then I sort of got disconnected in a way that, life took over my SEO journey. And then I got back in 2019 again.
Okay.
So, it's been in there, but I wouldn't say I've been in there forever. like yourself, 20 years. That
Yeah, I've been
still
doing it a long time. So, I've done it. I've freelanced it for almost a little over 2 decades, but then I've also done it privately. Like majority of, let's say, the past 12 years have been in medical field. So I have an extensive SEO background, GMB, and just pure SEO when it comes to medical marijuana, CBD, THC, and pain clinic, primary care clinic, beating. When we were doing it, we beat out the top 4 hospitals in the area when they got $1 million budgets, etc. But that sort of thing. So that was the majority of, like, if you will, my background. Whenever I got started, the guy that I was working with gave me really the opportunity. We were doing campaigns for like 80 different websites, so because we had departments for everything. So,
wow.
But yeah, Alfredo says great tips, thanks. All right, guys. Any more questions? Because if not, we're going to go ahead and get off here. It's been a short, sweet one, but we went over all the tips and everything. I'm going to start having Amit on here, more often. And if you have any more questions, make sure to drop them in the Google My Business Help group. And basically, that's where this video will be. So even afterwards, you can still ask questions, and they will still be there. And Amit's in there, so he'll definitely answer them and stuff. Any more questions? Okay. All right, guys. Y'all have a good one, and we will see you again next time.